I brought everybody in except I brought Shaolin in except us. I forgot. I took us backstage. And there we go. Them damn boomer moments again. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the O.O.C. God damn it. We got the usual suspects in the house. We got Roberto. What up, Roberto?
What up, people? Much love.
And we got Mr. J.G. Shaolin in the house once again. Thank you for popping in. And thank you for everybody that watching us. I think he's having issues with his mic, so we'll take care of that in a second. As you guys seen, you know, we started off the show. I put a little thing up there for Uche. Passed away. Found out he passed away. Absolutely, 100%. Found out he passed away yesterday, but supposedly it happened on Friday. You know, man was 38 years old, had a daughter. You know, he's had a couple pictures on Twitter with him and his daughter. So it's crazy. I can't sit here and pretend to say that, you know, me and him were close friends, but he did come on Square one time, and then he was on the O.O.C with us one time, you know, and it was a great conversation, you know.
Good people.
Yeah, very, very good dude, man. You know what I mean? Played for the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you don't know, you know, so to think that, you know, someone who played in the NFL would come and hang out and kick it with us, you know.
He's so humble.
Absolutely. It was good. Got some peach crown, so that shot's for you, Uche. Rest in peace. Wish you and your family condolences and all the best. And yeah, you know. But I gotta say, you know, when I found out, first off, I was on Twitter and I seen this dude from fucking Geeks and Gamers who posted it, and I didn't want to repost it, but I did, and I was like, this can't be true. Ended up coming to find out that it was true, right? So, you know, through Twitter, you're hearing all the, oh, you know, rest in peace and this and that, and people are all, you know, pretty much giving their condolences, you know? But then I see this, and I'm just going to bring it up here one quick. And so it's, y'all know how much I love Geeks and Gamers and the Fellowship. It's like a second family to me. And yes, you shouldn't talk bad about the dead ones, but if this is true, you completely lost my respect. I lost my respect I had for you, Uche. And then it shows here that Uche posted something on his Twitter where it says, okay, let's get these vaccine mandates and vaccination passports up and running ASAP. We've seen children die daily from the unvaccinated selfishness, pregnant women at risk too. Protect life, mandate the vaccine, jail to anyone who refuses to protect life. So I was like, man, a fucking dude just died. This is the shit y'all want to talk about. Everybody had their own opinions on shit. So because he believed people should be vaccinated, that should take away from the fact that he lost a daughter, or that a daughter lost a father, wife lost a husband, and the parents lost a son. You know, so there was a little bit of back and forth on that. But I'm just like, man, if you don't respect the man's opinions or whatever, that's fine. But to go and talk about that bullshit like the day he died, I was pissed. I'm like, yo, man, you have to have some respect. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to bring up certain things or the fact that you didn't agree with one of his takes. And I just found it in poor
another
taste,
thread to share your shit on.
You know what I mean?
Like, you're putting it up there and everybody... and you want to get petty Facts. On some opinionated shit. If this is how the man felt, would you have not listened to him, talked to him? Like, come on, man.
Exactly. And me personally, I had, you know, how I stood on the vaccination. I didn't
You know
get
who
it.
I stood
You know what
to?
I mean?
I feel no way about
Right.
anyone who did it.
Or anybody who didn't do it, right? But at the
Mhm.
same time, you don't just sit there and want to talk about bad about someone that just passed away. Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Maybe you should have posted that when he was alive. You know what I mean? Then he could have had a back and forth with you or
Have some
whatever. But you
cojones and say it to the man's
exactly
face.
facts 100%. But then you want to wait until the man is fucking dead to make a post like that. I just found it disrespectful, and
Very,
I had to say something. You know what I mean? I had to say
very.
something. And then I have to look for it, but I won't. But you know, I seen today that someone, I guess, posted, oh, you know, you were, because I guess he kind of apologized. Didn't really apologize, but said it was in poor taste or whatever. He understood that, you know. And then someone said, oh, you were bullied into apologizing. I'm like, the man wasn't bullied into apologizing. He probably realized, you know, maybe this isn't the right time to say this. I'm pretty sure I
Nzo,
wasn't the only one
look
that
at the
came at it.
time we live in. The times we live in, there should be no surprises anymore. People should not be
Yeah,
surprised. Like,
yeah, I feel you.
there needs to be a new chapter on life, a book given out, because where there was boundaries, there isn't. And now there's new boundaries that we're unaware of. You only
Mm-hmm.
find out when you've already crossed them.
Absolutely. You know what I mean?
And
So at one point, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, maybe I'm going to go off topic, but if you're not talking to anybody from maybe the era prior or after you're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Absolutely. What
wasting
up,
your
Basil?
fucking time. What up, Basil? Wasting your
Um,
time.
shit. I had to. Did I curse? Because there's new
Yes, I was
YouTube
going to ask
rules.
you about that.
Yeah, there's these new YouTube rules now where if you curse within the first 8 seconds of a video, they will demonetize you. And I
I
think
think
I
we
made
got
it
past 8
past
seconds.
eight
Yeah, I think we
seconds
did. I don't think
before
we
I
said
cursed.
anything. If anything, we
Yeah.
said that's some bullshit, but we were way a good 2-3 minutes into the show. What's up,
Okay,
bro?
so as long as we were into the show, what up, Rogue? What up, Mike? How you doing? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, we just started talking about Uche, you know what I mean, and rest his soul, rest in peace. We got a good show. Got a few topics up here tonight, but I got to show this because I was dying when I seen this video, bro. It had me rolling my. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it because I gotta go through. Oh, here it is. All right, listen to this.
Today, I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on You.
What was on me? What are you talking about? Is Raymond even hearing what I'm saying? I never had the measles.
Was on You.
We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke?
I know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It was on You. It was on You.
I've never had measles. What are you talking about? This is stupid.
It was an episode of a show, Laura.
What's it called?
You. It's called You.
I've never done a show on measles. I just completely give up. We got to get
It's a show called You on Netflix.
There's a show called Lowering on Netflix. What are you
Never mind.
about?
I'm moving on to Adele. I can't explain this to you. The pop many.
I had to show that. I was dying, bro.
Sorry to say, but is she a natural blonde?
I don't know. It says blonde woman. You know what up, Vasco? What up, David? Thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated.
What up, Vasco? Mr. Cantina.
I tell you, I was dying when I seen that clip, bro. I could not believe it. I was just like,
that's
yo.
some funny shit.
At first I was like you, because you were kind of confused at first. It looked like you were like, wait a minute, what do you mean you? But then when he says it's a show on Netflix, it clicked to me, and I was like, oh my god, this girl is dumb.
It's almost like that fucking skit from with Chris Tucker.
Oh,
the Chinese guy.
yeah.
I am you
in rush hour.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that's it. What up, JG?
We can hear you now. What up, JG? How you doing? Good.
He's in and out.
Yeah, he's in and out. What up, Bigger Ford and guys? What up, Perp Minded? Thank you guys for popping in, digging the Expos cap. Yeah, man, I went downtown before the Christmas party, and I was like, I need a hat. Yeah, your chip. We carry now.
Okay, cool. Sorry, couldn't get my mic work for any.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, and I went downtown and I said, I need a hat. You know what I mean? I need a new cap. And I seen this one there. There was a couple of other ones that were pretty tight too. And I was like, man, I'm gonna go back and look for these ones later. But I picked up this one. Enneagram is a little cockhold. I imagine there is much that escapes her notice. Hey, man, to be honest with you, I don't know, man. I just you just it didn't click to her. Well, especially when he said there's a show on Netflix. That's when it should have clicked. You know what I mean? But she was like, well, what's the name of it? He said, you. She said,
see, my daughter did something like that to me too, right? Because she was going out one night. I said, where you going? She said, somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. Where? Somewhere.
What up, Jason?
So I said, stop being a smartass. I don't always ask you where you're going. I want to know where you're going. She goes, Dad, I'm going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going somewhere with my friends. I started to lose it. She goes, Dad, the club is called Somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Okay, why did you wait till I lost it on the 5th or 6th time before you want to tell me it's a club? You were playing with it, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't playing with you. He wasn't playing. And that's the sad part of it.
I'm sure she was laughing inside. You know what I mean? She was dying at you, bro.
She was fucking embarrassed. That's what I think. As much as he tried, like he even threw his pen in the air. That's some frustration right there.
Oh no, I meant your daughter. Your daughter was laughing.
Oh yeah, but she's got a bit of me in her, so
What's up, Dandelion? How you doing?
Dandelion.
Unfortunately, they
Mr.
are
Tucker.
sucking bad. Montreal as always. Yeah. A question for Roberto. Any hockey fans in the house and favorite
100.
team? Roberto. Yeah, Roberto played hockey.
Yo, I used to play against Roberto? Mario Lemieux back in the day, yo. Way back in the day. But yeah, I was the real PK Subban. You could ask Gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I didn't come out of a rich suburb in Ontario. I came straight out of the hood, Côte de Neige, where you had to go shopping for hockey sticks in the broken, not damaged section. Shit, man.
I remember they had when those first fiberglass hockey sticks came out. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
We went because my brother was playing hockey too, right? We traveled, and I guess my parents were buying it for him for his birthday or something like that. I don't remember where we traveled to get this hockey stick, but it was far, bro. You know what I mean? You can't just go into a store and buy that hockey stick. We had to go like travel to get it.
Yeah, for sure. But I wanted to ask, why is David asking about hockey? Is Canada not winning anymore? Is he American? What's going on?
David's American. Probably likes hockey. Everybody claims
they were down 4-2 to Canada. So no, I don't know him, but I was the real PK.
Yeah, pretty much. We lived in Côte de Neige when we first came to Canada. Oh, yeah, that's where.
Oh, that's why you got soul. That's why you got soul, Dandy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where me and Roberto lives, and Côte de Neige. I lived in one building. He lived in one right next to me.
Yeah.
Like they were connected. Our buildings were connected to each other,
Today, I was.
No, I want to remove that. My bad. JG, can you hear us? Okay, I think you're still having mic problems. No problem. Just keep trying to fix it. Said nope. I'm just asking. I've have NHL 23. Does that count? I mean, hey man, we used to play the hockeys too. Roberto he's
99.
But he played. Man. He used to play. We used to whoop his ass. He don't want to admit it.
No, I used to whip your guys' ass, and then it got all fucking technical and advanced, and these guys just fucking owned me to the point I was just looking to break joysticks. So I said no to that, and I haven't touched them since.
Yes, sir.
All right, and I'm crazy.
Oh, Blades of Steel was fire. I miss Blades of Steel. That was a
Yeah, yeah,
fire fucking hockey game.
yeah.
You know what
The
I mean?
intro, everything,
I don't.
everything about it.
I would try and play it now. It would probably be like, for me, I'm a gamer, but to go back to play some of these old games, especially
I
on
want
like the
to just see
Nintendo,
how this
and
game used to get me going. Like Tecmo
yeah, yeah,
football. You remember Tecmo football?
yeah, absolutely, 100%, bro.
That was the lick. That was the
And
lick. If people saw that
and
now, they'd be like, "Were we mentally? Were we handicapped or something?"
and double dribble basketball.
Yeah,
You remember
yeah,
double dribble? That
yeah,
shit
yeah,
was the
yeah.
lick, bro.
With the animated
Wayne
dunks.
Gretzky's 3D hockey. Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey was okay, but
Nah,
I don't remember being that good. You know what
I
I
didn't
mean?
even
It
play it.
was playable, but yeah, it was playable, but it wasn't that good of a hockey game. Um,
Wasn't much of
so
a
yeah,
Wayne
guys,
Gretzky fan.
last week we got into some music industry stuff. We had a reaction to Jaguar Wright's video where she was talking about all the stuff in the music industry, and my dumbass went down the rabbit hole. I went down the motherfucking rabbit hole and I found so much crap. So I'm gonna bring up a few things that we're gonna discuss because she's not the only one that's sitting there and that's talking this crap, right? And I was like, oh, hold on.
Sweet.
Okay, I thought. What's sweet?
Canada's up 6-2.
Nice. Well, first off, congratulations on making it to the finals in the fucking fantasy league.
I didn't want to bring that up, but ain't that some shit? Poor Chris. First all year, gloating, talking about his time zone is the best, and man, this guy is he's something else. This guy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Was that him who wrote that shit? The time zone shit,
it definitely was him. I didn't see it, but it was definitely him. If
I don't want to say
Central
nothing,
Time Zone, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, I don't want to say nothing, but I know he's fucking burning. And
yeah, I never talked to him about it yet.
Even if that game had played through, those guys would have had to have both of them would have had to have had amazing games for him to beat me.
Absolutely.
If I was going to score 150, that was the time, dog. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Yo, I was just gonna say it's funny because I had the best fucking week that I had in the whole fucking fantasy league.
And you're watching, huh?
And I'm out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? 213 points. I would have beat all of you guys if I had just. Yes. Brady got 90. Tariq Evans got me 56
yeah,
points.
3 touchdowns. Yeah.
I was like, man,
200 yards.
Now you want to do this shit, right?
I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
sorry, since we're still on the topic, I wanted to know if my friendly police officer friend is watching, and he wants to ask me about that receiver he got rid of, asking me what he's done for me lately. Didn't I tell you? When what's his name comes back, there's going to be some different numbers on Coop? Didn't I tell him that, Nzo?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. As you thank me for that one victory you got early in the season, Danny, and you were all gloating because you beat me, I come back to thank you, my friend, in the semifinals for allowing me to have that almost 30 points that he got me on 3 receptions.
Mm-hmm. David said Magic Johnson's fast break. That game was garbage. NBA Jam is a classic, IHF World Juniors update, Canada 6, USA 2 with less than 3 minutes left. Excellent. That's good.
Right, that's right.
So let's get into the topic here because I found this one, right? It says another thing about Diddy, and let's bring it up. I think this is the one. I got so many.
He gave you a shout out In the Club,
yeah,
right?
This is it.
Shout out 50. You know what I'm saying? Right on, man. Speaking of the club, right? I heard you tell a story before about how Puffy, he took you to a club before and you seen a whole lot of weird stuff going on
Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
camp.
what it was called.
Well, very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
I like when you like this, Daddy. Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No,
I like that.
You said, I like when you do it like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit.
You told me to take me shopping.
He's a nice guy. What did it take the guy shopping?
Hey, man. Leave that alone, man. That shit put to bed.
Y'all had y'all fun, man. Y'all chilling. I'm knowing what's going on. Y'all chill. I'm chilling.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Done.
Fucking Usher.
See, it was that thing at the end. We're like, would you send your kid to a Puffy camp? He's like, hell no. What the fuck goes on in a Puffy camp that you wouldn't send your kid to?
He didn't even go well, you know. Hell no. Hell's to the no. Like,
Just
I don't
like
know how
that.
many hyphens I can add on that hell no.
It's crazy, bro. And now I'm sitting here, I'm like, yo, maybe this Jaguar, and we already said it, like we've heard stuff from the industry, like little, you know, stuff in the background. And then she came out and pretty much confirmed a lot of the things. And now seeing that some of these guys are coming out and confirming some of the stuff, I'm just like, yeah, man, I think there's a little bit more to Puffy than a lot of people think. And he's on Vlad. There's a guy that used to bodyguard for Puffy and Biggie, and he always saying that night that Biggie got killed was some shady shit. And he says it was some shady shit. You know what I mean? So they kind of thinking that maybe Puffy had something to do with it. I'm just like, I don't want to sit here and say that I can believe that Puffy actually had something to do with it.
But anything, if Puffy was a woman, people would say she killed Biggie for the insurance money. She killed Biggie for some kind of money, but it's not a woman. Because if this man is donating all proceeds through Biggie to some foundation or something that Biggie supported, then no one could say nothing about this man. But yet he's living off of Biggie. I'm sure Biggie would not make this man live off of him the way he is right now if Biggie was alive.
I agree.
These are the 100%. Questions you got to ask. These are the questions you got to ask.
Absolutely. What's up, Daniel Martin? Thank you for popping. He said, Diddy is suspect in more ways than one. Daniel. What's good, Nzo Roberto? I don't know how politics in Canada, but our regulations lost 6 votes in 2 days. Republicans, really? How big did Puffy blow up after Biggie? Biggie is what blew Puffy up. Like, there's no doubt about it, right? It was Biggie. I don't know who Biggie or what Bad Boy had. At least I can't remember them having anything before Biggie. But I did watch another interview where they actually say that Craig Mack was actually bigger than Biggie at one point with Flavor in Your Ear. They said Biggie only took off after he did the verse on the Flavor in the Ear remix. And I was like, I don't know about that, but you know what I mean? It was an industry guy. Yeah, for sure. Mac only had 2 joints though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he
had
a Flavor in the Ear,
those joints
and he had another
dangerous.
one that they were huge. I can agree.
Dangerous.
I can agree. They were huge. Here's another one. Noriega. All right. Found this one and I was like, oh shit. Okay. So listen to this one now.
Success where it's a door. When you platinum and you getting 50,000 a show, I've been there. There's a door that you could walk in. I'm not sure if it's homo or if it's Illuminati. I just didn't take that though. I went straight.
What do you mean?
Listen, when you get to a level of success, when you getting 30, 40, 50,000 a show, you platinum, you running across the world. There's 3 different doors, right? There's 3 different ways to walk. There's to the left, there's to the right, and then there's straight. Straight is your on your own. Let's see if you continue this success, young man. Let's see if it's all about your skills, young man. Let's really see that when you went straight. To the right, I'm not sure if that's the home shit right there. And then there's to the left, I'm not sure if there's some sacrifice going on right there. I'm not sure because I went straight. But I was offered these doors.
This is your offer?
I don't. No. I'm saying that to the right when I seen it, those was those guys over there. I just chose to go straight, and I haven't been platinum. It's a level of success.
Now, why would he say that if there ain't some fucking truth to it? Why?
You know what I mean? And then he said he went straight and he never went platinum again. So it's not just the fact that they're trying to get you to do certain things, right? It's also the fact that if you don't do them, they can end your career, no matter how fucking good you think you are. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
They don't put your shit out. It don't get put out.
100%.
You could go underground, but I don't know any underground guys driving Bentleys.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Even when Damon Dash and Jay-Z came out, right? They did their stuff underground at first, and Dame said he was like pretty much trying to get his Jay-Z a record deal, and everybody was saying no. Everybody was saying no. Now, how we ended up getting the record deal? Because they did the stuff independently and it blew up. And then, of course, you know, once it blows up and it shows that it makes money, then they're running and knocking at your door, right? There's a chance, though small, we have a Black House speaker. Oh, really? Okay. I think Biggie was a sacrifice.
The Demi one? Nice.
And he said, Mew1 said, I think Biggie was a sacrifice. Illuminati, a sacrifice, a loved one, or take it up in the backside. Yeah, there's that stuff. Kanye took which door? You see, that's the thing.
Kanye took the left door.
They're saying Kanye took the sacrifice door, and they're saying that Kanye's mom was a sacrifice, right? The way she died, they said she was a sacrifice. And they say if you go and look at the plastic surgeon's record, he should not have been doing plastic surgery. So they're saying that that's why Kanye West is kind of feeling the way he feels now, is because he took that door. And Kanye West has even come on and said his mom was a sacrifice. He said it many times, right? So, you know, I've never been a conspiracy guy. That just hasn't been me. But when I start to go through this rabbit hole and I'm listening to the things that the people are saying, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you know what, man? I think there might be some truth to it. Because then we have this one.
Is the worst loan you could ever make. When you sign to a major label,
it's not this
that
one.
money that they give you, let's say they give you $800,000, right?
We'll play it,
that's
but
a
it's
loan.
Not this one.
You have to pay back that loan with interest. So if you don't make back that $800,000, what they do is they put you in the red, but you can still be hot. And you didn't make back that $800,000. So you can still be hot. So they'll give you another album.
Here, and
then they'll give you instead of $800,000, they'll give you 1.2 this time, right? So now, but you still in the hole for that 800. You understand? But now you got another 1.2. And if you don't make that, then you're just in the red for both. And this is a loan with interest that you don't get nothing out of. Hip hop is not meant for the artist to win. It's never been meant for the artist to win. And the more and more you learn, the more and more you read your contracts, the more and more it's disturbing.
So there's that, and then I have this one too. This is the one I really show.
Tory Lanez made sure that his streams were about 3 million streams.
But this has something to do with
3 million streams a day.
What
off
Nori was just talking about.
An artist gets $5,000 to $6,000 every Friday. Or every other Friday, right? So that means that when I wasn't dropping and I was at home, some label was sitting on their ass collecting $15,000 a day off of Tory Lanez music. If I'm popping and I'm making songs, I'm probably gonna do around let's call it 5 million streams. Let's just say that, just to make it easy, right? That means that someone's making $25,000 a day off of my music. So in 4 days, they made $100,000. Guys, let's do the numbers, guys. And I want artists to really pay attention to this. When I was with Interscope, let's say I didn't drop music for a solid year and a half. Tory Lanez made sure that his streams were about 3 million streams, with all the music, 3 million streams a day. Off 1 million streams, an artist gets $5,000 to $6,000 every Friday or every other Friday, right? So that means that when I wasn't dropping and I was at home, some label was sitting on their ass collecting $15,000.
Repeat it.
The artist is easy. They send the stylist at them first. And if the stylist is like, if the stylist report back and be like, oh, he ready, then they invite you to the party, and that's when they be like, yo, look, you go.
Let me bring it back to
they
you.
do.
So
Artist is easy. They send.
First, we talk about the money part, right? Before I bring that one up. Yeah, man, it looks like the industry does whatever they can to rob you, right? And that's why when you hear like TLC and those type of groups who made crazy amount of money, when they're complaining about how they were broke, like you can go watch that award show where they are complaining about being broke. This is the reason why, because the money that they're getting is an upfront money, and then they have to pay for the concert tour, they have to pay for all types of things, even their hotels that they stay in. That's built to them, right? So you thinking you making $100 million off of this album, when they take their pay, you're not getting that much. Go ahead, Roberto.
Are they getting their royalties too? That's another thing you have to ask.
Exactly. Go ahead, talk, Roberto. I'll do it back.
Oh, I thought you were going to play the video. Well, yeah. Just feed me to the lions and shit.
You're the co-host, man. You're supposed to be able
I'm
to
not surprised.
Down, you know?
Okay, easy. I thought you were gone for a minute. You don't have to defend yourself so quick, yo. Like I mentioned last week, I was in the industry for a minute, and I'm not surprised. They make those contracts to the point where lawyers don't even want to fucking read it, because there's just so much stipulations in there, over stipulations. At some point, they don't even make sense. But the end result is you're getting minimal money.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, they would give you a dirty chain. Like my nephew got, you remember Mike? He got that crazy fucking chain. I was like, yo, you made it. You made it, because you're not buying that chain with whatever money you're making. So I know you made it. That's all he got. I don't know how much music he put out. I don't know what he did, but all he got is that chain, and he don't have it no more.
You have to be careful, man, because they definitely take advantage of you. JG, your thoughts?
Yo, salute everybody. Sorry about that. Internet issues, people problems.
No worries.
It's a dangerous game. You look at where a lot of these artists come from. Low income areas don't really have the financial knowledge before they sign those papers, that contract. A lot of them don't read it. Like, oh, they see dollar signs, they see this big check. Oh, I can feed my family. I can do this. I can do that. But like Chillmonger said, you don't even need a label nowadays. You got YouTube artists making bank lately, right? So my advice, I mean, I've never been in the industry, but I've known people in bands who tour locally and stuff like that. My advice is always, educate yourself before you sign those papers. Get a lawyer before you sign those papers. Save you a lot.
Absolutely.
Save a lot of trouble in the long run.
Absolutely, 100%. And Meal1 said that's why I like Joyner Lucas. He owns his masters since the get-go. Well, that's what they tell you. Like, you really, even Master P, that was the one thing he did, that he was like, yo, no matter what I do, I'm going to own the rights to my own masters. Like, everything he's done, he owns his masters. So he can always make the money off of that. No industry is going to be able to make money off of his masters. Michael Jackson wanted his masters. Like, all these guys, they end up wanting their masters after their career is done, because that's where the money is. That's how the labels are making the money off of these artists, because they own the rights to their masters. And that's fucking crazy. Like, you do something and they own your rights. And Dave Chappelle has a good thing on that, which we'll get into in a little bit. Labels take advantage of artists. It's nothing new. Yeah, all the time, 100%. That's why they get them young. They don't understand the contracts. Exactly. And then we have them doing stuff like this. So let's play this.
Oh, this is easy. They send the stylist at them first. And if the stylist is like, if the stylist report back and be like, oh, he ready, then they invite you to the party. And that's when they be like, yo, look, you go in here, it's going to be some, you know what I mean? It's a at the door.
Okay, now look, what Ali Vegas is doing to you right now, he's giving you the game of how these be getting turned out.
Yeah, like
they try to put this tight ass shirt on you.
That's what they do.
And if you wear the shirt,
they like, oh, he ready.
He with it.
That's you telling them like, yeah, I'm ready. And then next thing you know, you get invited to the party with the greeting is the man squeezing your.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, it's so crazy because I always tell them, like, my cousins would be like, yo, son, like, you that guy, like, what are you? I'm like, bro, I don't want it that bad.
You know what I mean? You don't want it that bad. But you see, and we say this all the time, is there's one person that don't want it. There's someone else that does want it that bad. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, I don't want it that bad. If I was an artist, I wouldn't want it that bad. I really wouldn't. What about you, Roberto?
I'm sure there's some guys out there, squeeze all you want. Just give me my paper.
Yep.
Yep. I know. I love women. If this is what I gotta do to get paper, I mean, fucking people are so money hungry now. That's so minimal. I tell you, you're gonna be the next Nas, or you're gonna be the next. I don't know who's big in this new era, but if I tell you you're gonna be the next one, just follow my lead. Why would you doubt me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt you, but the question is, am I willing to do what you want me to do to get to that
and like
level?
You said, if you won't, there will be someone who will.
Oh, hands down, 100%, 100%. You know, and that's where it comes into play, where I think a lot of these artists know that, right? They know that if they don't take this spot, someone else will. So, you know what? Maybe I can do what I got to do to get to where I need to go.
But wasn't that every industry? I mean, right down to the WWE. If you weren't touching your toes, you weren't getting in.
Yeah.
It's almost like that in every industry, you know? So again, not surprised. It's just music.
Well,
there's so many subdivisions to music, you know?
And you see, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's like, it's not just the music, it's music, movie industries, the TV industry. Like, it's all a part of Hollywood, right? So anytime you want to get into that Hollywood circle, you may have to do certain things that you're not willing to do.
And if you don't, you won't.
It's sad.
Said when Michael Jackson, facts, 100%. When Michael Jackson died, most of the Beatles catalog he owned, if not all, went back to the label. I think he owned some of Elvis's catalogs, and that went back to the labels too. Yeah, they tried to get that stuff from him before he died. I know the Beatles, Paul McCartney, I think he wanted to buy them back from Michael Jackson too. Michael Jackson said, hell no, not buying that. I'm not selling that, because he knew how much money there was in it. Chillmonger says, shout out to Mercedes Moan. I don't know who that is, Chill.
I don't either.
Not sure, but shout it out anyways. You know what I mean? So it goes back to me saying, like, you know, maybe some of the stuff Kanye West was saying, he's pretty much validated for saying some of the shit that he's saying. All right.
Well, you just need more artists like that to come out and say it. You know, Kanye, the media portrays him as this crazy, loony, something wrong with him. So every time he opens his mouth, oh, he's just being Kanye. Don't listen to him, right? But you have artists like the one we just heard. You know, he's not really a big name guy, but people really aren't going to pay him that much attention. We need more artists like, well, Jay-Z for sure said like the same thing, but people of that stature to come out and say, hey, this is what goes on in this industry.
Absolutely. Oh, you mentioned wrestling. That's Sasha Banks' new name. She was at the Tokyo Dome yesterday. Oh, okay. Sasha Banks. Yeah, she's good. I like Sasha Banks. She's hot too. Like when I was like, oh, Sasha Banks. Wow. Okay. You she got me watching wrestling for a minute, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I was watching the female wrestling. Oh yeah, bro. She cute as fuck. You know? But yeah, so like I was saying, man, when it comes to this industry stuff, it's crazy. And as much as people want to make it and become a celebrity, I don't know if that would be the path that I would want to go. Like the minute they would tell me, you gotta, first off, they would try to put a tight shirt on me, and I'd be like, no, that's too tight. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I'm not. I just don't feel comfortable wearing tight fucking shirts. You got to give me some kind of space. You gotta, you can't give me this tight fucking shirt and be like, here, wear this. It wouldn't happen for me. So I'd probably be one of those ones like Nori and go the straight way, thinking, yeah, man, I don't need these fuckers. I could do it myself. And then 2 years from now, my career is done. But at least I didn't compromise my values to get that paper. I just can't do that shit.
And you can't do anything legal about it either.
Oh no, of course not. Of course not. Absolutely not.
There's some kind of discrimination in there, or some kind of manipulation. This, do this or else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. So we'll pop on to the next topic. Let me see. I'll try and bring it up here. Because I was watching, going through my Instagram feed, and I seen that, like 2023, America has some new laws, right? So I'll bring up one of the first ones here.
America? I thought it's state to state.
Yeah, state to state. Sorry. Yeah, it's not America, state to state. You are correct. So the first one we have here is, starting today, any child under the age of 12 will not be arrested or prosecuted for crimes in New York unless it's a homicide charge.
Man, look.
Like what?
Look, I live in Memphis, Tennessee, right? Most of our crime are done by young boys under 18. I'm sorry. If that 12-year-old robs me, put this lock him up. What? You're not gonna? This is a homicide. It's open season then. Oh, you can't do anything to me. I didn't kill him. What the?
Absolutely.
So what if he walks by and slaps an old woman? Can he? They would let him go? It was a homicide.
Pretty much. How much crimes a year have been under 12? You see, that's the thing, Chillmonger, right? It may not be a lot, but there are some, guaranteed, right? But what's going to happen now, right? And what's going to happen now is that a lot of these guys in the hood, these drug dealers, are going to be like, hey, let's get this little 10-year-old to sell
these new assassins. Don't kill him. Just stab him up a few times.
There was a couple months ago.
You know what I mean?
This lady had two sons. One was 15, I think. The other one was 11. And she was driving them around, telling them, hey, rob this person, breaking this car, doing all this and that. So kids, they do crimes now.
Mm-hmm.
They do them. So
absolutely. Take your kid to the store and he wants a toy, you can't afford it. Yeah, just put it in your pocket.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just put it in your pocket.
I stole all kind of candy when I was like 12 and under. So I mean, it is what it is.
Of course we did. We all did. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I used to go to the store. I used to steal the G.I. Joes and Transformers. Exactly. Give me that option now, knowing that nothing will happen to me.
Man.
And I was 12.
I'll get away. I'll get away a good 6 of 10 times.
Exactly.
Bro. I'm sure there will be some sort of intervention, just not legal intervention.
In America?
Yeah, but I'm. Would you agree?
I can see all these kids just jumping up and down, celebrating in the schoolyards.
Would you agree if the law was 3? Yes. So where's your number? What do you mean, Chill? Like a number that I think a child shouldn't be prosecuted at? It's hard to say. You know what I mean? It depends. Like, if you want to say like a 10-year-old, I can't even say that because there's guys out there that are going to take advantage of the situation and they're going to have these kids doing shit that they shouldn't be doing, right? Because they know that nothing's going to happen to the child, right? So you remember the show The Wire? You know, you had the big ups and then you had the little teenagers on the street selling the drugs. Now it's just going to be 10 years old. I'm 12 years old. How old are you? 11? All right, you want to make some money? Here, stand on the corner and sell this. What's going to happen?
What's going to happen to them?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure if that's everywhere or what state that was in because it doesn't say. But at the same
I
time,
thought it
I'm
said
just
New
like,
York, so maybe it's a state in New York.
Yeah, it did. It did. Could be.
But it's
best
a
to
Toronto
look into
Star,
exactly
so I
what
don't
the
know.
law is instead of reading a clickbait headline. Well, the headlines aren't clickbait because they're from Toronto News, and they actually have been legitimate with the stuff that they say. Right.
Really? Okay.
So I haven't had, I haven't found anything on there that hasn't been true yet that they've had. So the next one we had,
I can see all these 12-year-old pimps on the corner.
yeah.
Oh shit.
12-year-old pimps, 12-year-old drug dealers. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So next one we had here is, let me bring it up. Share screen. Law number 2. Starting today, you can legally have a concealed gun in public without a gun license or training in Georgia and Alabama as long as you aren't a felon.
Oh, that's already happening in my state. So.
Really?
Yeah, y'all think you need a license or anything to carry a gun over here. So
that's a yawn statement in the U.S., Nzo.
Well, when it comes to the gun laws, we already know how they are about their gun laws over there, right? So, but now it's like,
Isn't that redneck country?
It is. It is. Especially
Why don't we just throw in some liquor? What the hell, man? I don't understand what's going on in this world, yo. I don't understand.
And it's trying to be controversial to get eyeballs. It could be. 2 more states on my nope list. Well, I mean, I think Americans are already pretty much doing that anyways. You know what I mean? But now it's like no license, no training. I could just buy a gun and walk down the street and carry it with no ill will, nothing. Nobody cares. And I think
you can't.
No, I can't because I'm not American.
No, you're black.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. That's true too. And
there should be a little clause in that.
Facts, 100%. Because this gun law probably doesn't apply to us. You know what I mean, bro?
Look at my man's hands, Nzo. Those guys. If that guy's hands were dark, would you believe that article?
Probably not.
that's the world we live in. That's the fucking world we live in.
Yeah, it's crazy,
see a couple
man.
Of cops in the background on their knees with their weapons drawn.
But you see, that's you gotta conceal your skin, Nzo. Yeah, we do, chill. We have to conceal our skin. Absolutely. You ever see the Saturday Night Live skit where Eddie Murphy went out on the street as a white dude? We would have to do that for that law to apply to us. You know what I mean? Put on some makeup, do a white face, and walk down the block and say, okay, listen, I got this. More reasons for police to shoot first. Look for reasons why later. Absolutely.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because once, and cops can be not just trigger finger, but they can also be like paranoid. You know what I mean? So they see someone walking down with a gun, they may draw out their gun right away, but hey, freeze, whatever. Next thing you know, you getting shot because you went for your wallet, and they say you were going for your gun, your arm.
Well, we are aware that they fear for their lives, so. For your life, you tend to do stuff that you wouldn't consciously do.
Yeah, we know that.
Chicken shit. He ain't here, so I can, shoot the shit. I ain't heard of nobody's feelings in the panel or in the commentary.
Nah, man, you can talk your talk. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I'm saying it's true.
I feel you. Next up. Starting today, it is a felony in Missouri to sleep on state-owned land like under overpass and bridges. You will be fined 750 and 15 days in jail.
Now, see, you see how messed up America is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can in New York, 12. You won't go to jail unless it's a homicide. But in Missouri, sleeping under an underpass or something, knowing you're homeless, nowhere else to go, shelters only have so many cots in there you can sleep on. $750 fine or whatever, 15 days in jail.
They ain't getting that $750.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and the prisons are already overcrowded, so where the hell you gonna put them?
You know what I mean?
If I'm fucking sleeping under a fucking underpass, I don't got $750 to pay no fine. So what's that mean? If what they do is they keep you in jail longer, right? So if you ain't got the fine,
I think you get that debt with fucking interest on you.
Oh shit! No,
state owns you. Because I watch this shit about these guys' brothers coming out of jail, and they got to pay back for their time, whatever they did the time, whatever food and all that shit they got to pay that back. And if they don't, they could be put back in jail.
That's crazy.
In some states, man. I think
Not
it was
sure how they get their money. 15 days in jail. Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. It's like now it made sense why they want to get you in the system, because once you're in the system, they own you, man. They can pull you over without reason, bust you up on speculation, lock you up on reasonable doubt.
But why the hell? Like, okay, listen, I get it. You know what I mean? I completely understand. Maybe you want to clean up the area and stuff like that, but you're talking about like freaking homeless people who have nowhere to go. Like, why are you worried about where the fuck they sleeping, man? Let them just sleep where they need to sleep and get that peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna try and get money from these guys and they don't have it? It's fucking crazy, bro.
There's big money in the prison system, David. Big
oh, absolutely.
Big money.
100%. 100%. There's huge money into it. And that's the thing, right? Since there's huge money into it, a lot of these
fill them up. It's more money.
Yeah, absolutely. And who are they going to fill it up with? Black people.
People that are trapped in the system.
Facts. Facts.
I busted you already, Nzo. Oh, is this a roach you have on you? 10 years, bing. You know what I mean? You're about to throw that roach away, and I just happen to fucking pull you over. 10 years, you're gone. No one could defend your ass. No one wants to hear your ass. And then they wonder why you're a menace to society 10 years later.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And especially after you've been in the system, right? We already know that it's extremely hard for you to get a job after that. You know what I mean? Like if you have a criminal record, certain places don't want to hire you. So you're basically just...
Depending on the crime too, right?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So you're just basically fucking, gonna end up going back and doing crimes because that's all you have to do. And what does that do? Keeps you in the system a little bit fucking longer. You know? So it's fucking crazy. Absolutely 100%. 100%. So now got another one over here, which listen, we've talked about it before, right? And we've talked about the Colin Kaepernick documentary and how he compared the NFL to slavery. Now, a lot of us said we understood the comparison, and there were a lot of people out there that were like, fuck that. You know what I mean? He's making money. You can't compare it. So I happened to find this video, and this video was done. I know this video was done before the documentary came out because I seen it before, but I completely forgot about it. But it popped up again on my feed, and I was like, this is very interesting. So let's bring this up real quick. Let me find it here. If I can find this motherfucker. I gotta put the names on these things so that I know where they are. Yeah, hold on, give me a second, guys. Where are you? Silence not good right now, but I'm trying to find the video. Anyways, the video is of Warren Sapp. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's he crying about now?
That idiot. What's he talking about?
You see, that's the question, right? Here it is. There we go. Listen to what Warren Sapp has to say.
The slave system, make no mistake about it, slave masters say you can't do it, don't do it, they'll make an example out of you.
Yeah. I've always said that. You know what the shirts in the NFL used to say when I first got in?
What's that?
Property of. Got a better one for you. After 13 years in the National Football League, I wait 5 years to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, correct?
Correct.
Guess what else happens at 5 years? Your insurance just got turned off.
Didn't know that.
So for me, in my 13 years of going into the Hall, also now it's time for you to go find insurance. So who you know go insure somebody who played 65% of the snaps in the National Football League for 10 plus years in the trenches? That wouldn't be a very good investment for you as an insurance company, would it? This is the whole totality of it when I tell you about a system, from start to finish, from the time you walk in almost naked, because they love showing that Tom Brady thing, boy. Tom Brady looked bad in that combine, doesn't he?
Now, this video...
He actually said some shit now.
Yeah, this video came out before that Colin Kaepernick documentary, right? And he said that before. Like, you had to wear shirts in the NFL that said property of the NFL. Now, I know there'll be some people that will say, oh, well, maybe it was the shirt that was the property of the NFL. But why would you need to put that on the fucking shirt? No, the player, the person that they've signed is the property of the NFL. The person that they sign in the NBA is the property of the NBA. That's how they see you, right? It's modern day slavery. I don't care what you guys want to say. You could be like, oh, well, they get paid for it. Yeah, well, me working for my company, I get paid, but that's modern day slavery. Because one, I know for a fact that I am not getting paid what I'm worth, right? 100%. You know what I mean? The company is making thousands of dollars off of me, right? They're making millions of dollars off of these players. Now, the players, they get paid a lot of money. And I think 100% they deserve the money that they get, because if you go look at a lot of these players, when their career is done, they can't walk, they have problems, they have this, they have that. So you got to be compensated for that. Plus, the NFL makes so much fucking money that, you know what I mean? It makes no sense for them to get it. But go ahead, Roberto.
It's sad, you know. If you look at the NFL and you look at war veterans, there's no real difference of how they're treated after sacrificing their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the complete opposite, the NBA. Do you hear any stories like that?
About what?
Like you hear in the NFL. These guys are done and they cut insurance and they cut this on them. The NBA, it's run by the players. So these guys are making damn sure that they're taken care of. The NFL, like Sapp said, I didn't even realize that all of those NFL shirts that I used to buy used to say property of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even dawn on me until he fucking said it. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, they are property in the NFL, but why state it?
Exactly. Called buck breaking, bro. To let you know that we own you. What do you think, JG?
Well, you know, one of the big differences between the NBA and the NFL is the NBA has what we call guaranteed contracts. So if somebody like making $50 million, they're probably going to get that $50 million plus some incentives.
Right.
NFL is no guarantee. Plus, you're risking, like we just saw the other night, you're risking your life going out there, going for a tackle, right? And when he said property, I remember having some clothing that said property of the NFL on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, you're right. I'm like, damn, that's a good point. I remember the joke about, you know, the green turf and the white lines, like the cotton people run, you know, the little joke I heard back in the day about it. But man, it is modern day slavery because you had slavery.
Sad.
You had
such a
slavery.
brutal sport.
Exactly.
And no changes. Like this is not new. This is something that's been talked about for quite some time now.
Yeah.
With the violence of this sport and the lack of care that they're given when they're gone.
Exactly. And you can't slack off because a rookie come in and take your spot just like that. So you got guys who are hiding injuries, hiding all concussions. I played football since elementary, high school. I played some junior college football. I've had maybe 4 or 5 concussions. I still have migraines to this day. Painful migraines where I just out for the whole day. I can't do anything. And so
I know. I feel you.
It's a dangerous game, and even with these collective bargaining agreements that constantly do it, I always saying, hey, let's throw in insurance in there as well, because like Seth said, the insurance. I mean, you taking those hits to the head and everything, those injuries. You go to an insurance company. What's one of the first thing to ask? What is your injury history?
Facts.
So you're lying about the injuries you have, and if it's known, no injuries. Now look at Junior Seon back in the day. Who I think he killed himself, right? They say he's probably a lot of concussions. You think the insurance is going to pay, like, help him out with his mental issues? No. So it's and like we're saying, it's modern day slavery. You had slavery, you had sharecroppers who weren't slaves per se, but they were still in the slave system. Just like you see in the NFL, you know, they're getting paid, but if somebody that signs a $20 million 3-year contract, they're probably going to get like what, $7 to $10 million of it.
Absolutely.
Barring whatever stipulations are in the contract, like you have to play so many games, then we'll give you this if you don't, or you have to score so much.
Some guys are getting guarantees now.
It's some Tom Brady probably.
Like Russell Wilson got some guaranteed money.
I think there are a few, but not too much, right?
Oh, there's a few, but it's starting at least.
Yeah, it's heading in that direction.
Daniel, I said lots of modern day slavery. Just ask anyone on minimum wage.
I agree with you. Dandelions' other comment.
Yeah, we'll get to that one too. I agree with that. Unfortunately, it's not the weed though. But,
you made me laugh, man.
But it's funny because I agree with this statement. I was saying it earlier. I'm like, yo, me working for somebody, right? And like, even if it's not minimum wage, I'm still working for somebody. They can fire me at the drop of a dime. Now, of course, there's some protection for employees, how long you've been there and stuff like that, right? So you do get a little bit of protection, but there are some people who don't. Like, let's say you're working under the table or something like that, and you could be the hardest working man in a company, right? You could be there on time, you could stay late, but if you're not performing, all that good shit you're doing does not matter. It does not matter. They will fire your ass because you are not performing. They will tell you, like, listen, you're a good employee, you're here on time, you do your work, you work hard, but you're just not performing. So guess what? We got to get rid of you. It's just that simple.
Replace at the drop of a hat. No problem.
At a drop of a dime. And you see, that's the thing. If that's the case, right? Let's say they do fire you because your performance is not up to par, then you don't have a foot to stand on when it comes to getting, like, you know, reparations, or, you know, like, hey, this, you guys fired me for this reason, you can't do that. No, you have no foot to stand on because your performance is not great. So you can go to, we have it here, it's called nom de travail, where you go there, and if you're wrong, you fired for like a wrong reason, you know, they will call the company, they will find out why. If it doesn't go that way, you'll have to go to court, and it's all kind of stuff that you can do, right? But when the minute they say, well, yeah, he's a good worker, but his performance wasn't great, he wasn't doing the numbers that we wanted him to do, he was losing our company money, so as good as you are, fuck you. You know what I mean? Sorry, you're done. It's over just like that. So I do agree with that. Use them up and throw them away. Absolutely, 100%. Those owners are all from the good old boy clubs. I think if you have the money, the owners have to take a vote whether you can own a team or not. Yeah, they don't just let anybody buy a team. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? You're definitely part of that good old boy club. Killmonger, so what? Do you remember Jerry Jones speaking up about those shirts? Did he? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't really remember. It's possible. Sad cases of concussions and CTE. Yeah, CTE. And the worst part about CTE is you're never diagnosed it, or they can't diagnose it until you're dead, right? And then they can do take your brain out. They do an autopsy on your brain, and next thing you know, they find out you had CTE because you had too many concussions. If you go and look at a regular person's brain who passed away and someone who plays football, it's like night
Junior
and day,
Seau.
man.
Go look at Junior Seau's brain.
Facts, 100%. And here it is. Sounds like you got some good weed there today. Yeah, I do, but it's not the weed that's making me cough. It's this damn cold. The cough still hasn't went away. So that's why they've been crushing unions for the last 50 years. Chillmonger said, no, Jerry Jones did not. Yeah, of course Jerry Jones did not, because Jerry Jones was the same man who wasn't letting the black man them into the school when segregation was going on. So you damn well know that he thinks any black man that works for him is his property. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. If you're Herschel Walker, we can be pretty sure there's some CTE happening there. 100%. I seen this speech with Herschel Walker where he was talking about vampires and shit. I was like, wait a minute, what? What are you saying, bro? He was like, oh, I'm glad vampires don't exist or some shit like that. You guys can find it if you want to. You search it, you can find it there where he's talking about vampires existing or not existing or stuff like that. And I was like, bro, you have to be out of your mind. David Quintana said, Chris Benoit too. Yeah, absolutely with Chris Benoit. All right, that's it. He said vampires are cool people. Steroids, but CTE though, because if you remember, his finishing move was to jump off the top rope and headbutt you. You know what I mean? So he would jump off the top rope and his head would hit you. And he did that constantly. Like these wrestlers wrestled almost every night.
Yeah.
And he did his finishing move every night. There is no doubt in my mind that he had CTE. Not only that, I'm pretty sure the steroid use had a lot to do with it too. But you mix steroids
the
and
CTE brought out the confusion.
Yeah.
Then you had Eddie Guerrero's death. That's probably had a lot to do with it too. It just all came together at one.
100%. He thinks he's a cop. His badge is honorary. Oh, you're talking about Herschel Walker? Yeah. Hey, if he would have won, I would have been like, okay, Trump's getting back into office because you can't vote for Herschel Walker, man. You can't. Like, I was like, America, don't let me down, man. Don't let me down.
We're messed up, man.
Because they had to do another vote because it was a tie, right? It ended up being a tie, so they had to do another vote again. I'm like, if you guys
a tie for Herschel?
Yes. That's the sad about it. It's they were talking about vampires and crap, and they had to do it, and it was a tie. Man.
Don't tell me these things, man.
That's what I was just about to say. You heard Roberto's laugh, right? Roberto, please give us an insight of what you were thinking just now.
I can't believe that, man.
Believe it, bro. That's America for you.
Like,
stay in Canada, bro. Do not come across that border.
Trump, I said, you know what? If he gets elected, I'll freak out. Like, what are the chances? But Herschel Walker, I didn't even give him a thought. I'm like, this guy is that one black guy standing at the Trump rally. Now this guy's running in politics. That's how I saw him.
Like, okay, chat. Hold on, Roberto. Keep that thought. Let me just say this real quick. Yes, I know it wasn't an actual tie because you have to win 10% of the vote to win. So the tie, they call it a tie because it was less than 10% of the vote. That's why they had to do it over again. I know this. Go ahead, Roberto.
Unbelievable short story. That's all I could say. Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
What state was he running in?
I don't know.
I don't know.
JG?
Was it Oklahoma, Texas, somewhere over there? Let me see.
Like I saw
someone in the chat.
I saw a meme of Herschel walking with Trump, and Herschel complaining to Trump, "I thought you said I would win," and Trump said, "I didn't know you were that stupid." Something along those lines. And I'm saying, if Trump is saying that and they're making memes out of it, this guy's got to be extremely bad. And there was a tie.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Georgia? Couldn't have been Georgia.
It was Georgia.
Couldn't have
Georgia,
been Georgia.
probably.
Oh my God. Let me make sure I'm not. That's even worse right there. Oh my God. They had the Georgia Senate. Oh my God. Black people in Georgia, wake up. Come on, bro.
For real. 100%.
Oh my God.
David Quintana said they say his brain was that of a person with advanced Alzheimer, Benoit. Yeah, for sure. Chill said the media loved to call him the crippler. Yeah, listen, I liked Chris Benoit, you know what I mean? And when he did what he did, I can understand why the WWE, pretty much erased him from the record books and all kinds of stuff like that. But at the same time,
can't blame him.
Right. He needed help.
Yeah.
He was on steroids. He had CTE. You know what I mean? Like, I get what he did was fucked up. You know what I mean? He killed his wife, killed his kids, killed himself. Fucked up situation. But at the same time, you got to look beyond what he did and wonder why he did it. Right. And if you're seeing that, his brain was like that of an Alzheimer's patient, he had CTE, then at that point, you don't really you condemn what he did, but at the same time, you're like, well, listen, we understand he needed help. He was not in his right mind. So I don't think you take away what he did in the WWE because of that. I just don't think that. That tight end for the Patriots, Aaron Hernandez, after he killed himself in prison, they found out he had CTE and the brain of an 80 or 90-year-old person. Yeah, absolutely. 100% they did. 100%. And there was a documentary on Netflix that they had about him, which was really good to watch. Yeah.
Crazy mofo.
But that's the thing. If you look at, I'm pretty sure 90% of the ex-players in the NFL have some kind of CTE. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying someone like, okay, let's say, what's the quarterback for the Colts that retired before he got hurt? Shit. Andrew Luck, right? He said, I'm done, right? Because he knew that if he stayed playing this game, he probably would not enjoy the later parts of his life, and a lot of these players, yeah, they have money and they have, fame, notoriety, and all that shit. But unless you're Shannon Sharp, you know what I mean? You're pretty much not enjoying the later parts of your life. And even with Shannon Sharp, as fit as he looks, we don't know what he feels when he wakes up in the morning, what body aches he has, what type of medications he has to take because of all the hit that he's taken in his career. You know what I mean? So it just comes down to that with the NFL, man. You got to be fucking careful, bro.
Like I said, I get constant migraines, not even play NFL football. So just imagine those guys who play Pop Warner all the way up to college to NFL. Just imagine what they're going
through. Fact. Because that's the thing too, right? Because you're usually playing from high school. So you're taking hits in high school. You're taking hits in college. You're taking hits in the NFL. And when you're taking hits in high school, depending on what age you start, your brain's not fully developed. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. That's why you get these, aches in your back, your knees hurt, your legs hurt, this and that. Like it's crazy the way some of these now.
You gotta think of the mentality back then, Nzo. When I had my first concussion, I was 6, 7 years old in hockey. Didn't know what a concussion was, but all I knew was you needed to get up.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you wanted was your coach to come and get you, and everybody demean you, saying, you're the coach's boy, you're a wuss, you're that. So you had that stigma that you couldn't cry out. And that's why a lot of these guys, the older football players, are suffering. They took major pain. That's why they only play
100%.
once a week, because they need 6 days to recover.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's like you see basketball, they play every 2 nights, right?
Yeah, hockey, they can play back to back.
Right. But in football, you need a week for your body to recover because you are getting hit on almost every play. Doesn't matter unless you're the kicker, but doesn't matter what position you play other than the kicker, right? And even the kickers get hit sometimes.
Yeah. That play Sunday and then got to play on Thursday.
When they have that short week, absolutely 100%.
If you're a part of fantasy, you'll know what we're talking about, because all you have is questionable. Everybody's questionable because they're injured.
Facts.
Not guaranteed they're taking ice baths after every game. I know I did.
I was just
taking
about
ice
to say
bath
that
because of the aches and pains. People got groin injuries they don't talk about. I've had one before. That shit hurts. It's
especially in a sport where you're using it the most.
Exactly.
Fact.
You know what I mean? You have these guys who probably play like once a year. They want to go out there. The first thing they want to do is I want to take somebody's head off, right? And they see you. I got knocked out by one of those guys before, right? So it's.
Roberto was one of those guys.
I couldn't do it.
Roberto was one of those guys. Roberto was one of those guys. He wanted to take your head off. Roberto will tell you that when he watched football, he was like, "Yeah, man, you know what I mean? Take his head off." Right, Roberto?
You can't blame me because that's the era I grew up in.
I know.
You have your head down. As a defenseman, you're salivating in the mouth when you see a guy skating with his head down, because you're going to decapitate him, and you're going to get props from your players. You're going to get notarization from people saying, "What a hit." Now, your career is over. You might go to jail for attempted murder.
Facts.
Just think of all the guys that made it in the Hall of Fame, like the Ronnie Lotts and the guys back from the Steel Curtain days. Do you think they would make the Hall of Fame today playing that style of football?
Oh, they would be kicked out of the NFL.
Exactly. That's my point. That's how fucking drastic the game has changed. And people are still crying about protection.
Like there's no real way to protect these players.
No
real way.
It's a contact sport. Only way you can do it is eliminate the sport. Like hockey. If you take body checks out of hockey, nobody's watching that fucking game.
Remember when they tried to take
that they're taking fighting out almost.
Yeah, remember when they actually took out fighting? Nobody watched hockey.
It's not
nobody watched hockey,
but you can't take it out.
Yeah, I know you
because
can't.
You're taking food away from certain players. That's their role.
David Quintana said, considering the current Colts, he was going to have a hard time, no doubt. Remember the Steve Young or Aikman concussions? Yeah, a lot of these guys, where their career ended, it's because they got a hit and a concussion and couldn't go back on. It was done. I think that's what happened to Troy Aikman. I think he got hit, had that last concussion, and he never went back. You know what I mean? Michael Irvin almost broke his neck. You know what I mean? He went up for a ball, they swiped his feet underneath him, and he almost was paralyzed. And he's done.
I was going to ask you, do me a favor, because you do that screen share thing really good. If you could put up the Paul Correa hit, if you could find the Paul Correa hit on Google or YouTube and put it up here. Like, this hit is fucking murder. And the guy that hit him is notorious for giving these hits, and that's the reason why he's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's so crazy. JG, I'm telling you, if Nzo puts this hit up and you see it, you won't forget this hit after you get off the air tonight. I promise you that, man.
That's why I say I would never play hockey a day in my life. Those guys are insane.
The thing I love about hockey is I could come back and break my stick on the back of your neck and just serve 5 minutes in a penalty box and say, justice is served, my brother.
Man, look, I'm going to have to meet you outside.
There he is, Mr. Stevens. That guy Stevens is like it was like you skated full speed into a wall.
Yes.
That guy was literally a wall. Ask anybody that knows hockey about Scott Stevens, and they'll tell you this guy was the Grim Reaper on skates, man.
I know I said that's why I don't follow sports. I don't think people should destroy their bodies or minds for my entertainment. Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, but a lot of these guys, it's the only way to get out of the hood. You know what I mean? Only way to make it, right? Where they're like either a rapper or a sports guy, so they do what they got to do to get it.
Well, it's a God-gifted talent.
It is too.
The numbers
Not everybody
of people
can
that
do
make it there is almost like the lottery. Not anybody can make pro football, baseball, hockey.
100%.
You
100%.
think you watch these games and say, I could have. You couldn't on your fucking best day of your life.
Facts. 100%.
You can play
100%.
the G League. You'll still look the same. You know what I mean?
And if you watched, I don't think anybody really watch, at least in the chat, watches football, right? But they had a Buffalo Bills game on Sunday, and the dude, his name is Darwin Hamlin or something like that. He was the safety. He was going to tackle the guy with the ball, and he got hit. Boom, right? And what up, Danny? What's going on, brother? Glad you could make it. And he got hit, right? He hit the player, and he got up, and then he collapsed. And they had to bring out the people to cardiac arrest. They had to get his heart starting again. He had a fucking heart attack right there on the field, bro. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a dangerous sport out there, man. It is fucking dangerous out there.
Cardiac arrest could happen anywhere. You could be driving a car, walking, sleeping. It really, I can't say that the sport was the cause. I didn't see I saw the tackle. Supposedly, the helmet hit his chest. I didn't see that. But how many times have you seen hits like this and thought nothing of it? I didn't think it was a vicious hit.
I watched a video of a doctor who said that there is a time, and he said it's very rare, but if you hit somebody in the chest at that time of their heart, it can, hard enough, it can cause you to have
it happened in
cardiac
hockey
arrest.
too, that a puck hit somebody in the heart and his heart stopped. It's happened, but it's rare.
Because you got to remember those shoulder pads, that chest pad right there, it's not as thick as people think it is.
It's just sad that it happened in football, because football really wasn't the blame for that.
Well, when
that could happen anywhere.
Exactly. Well, when you have force coming at you full speed, you're trying to stop that force from going further, and they hit you in the chest at that speed.
Like I said, JG, it wasn't a ferocious hit.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't those. But you know what?
No one said, "Oh my God, that hit."
Right, and to be honest with you,
problems.
That's true too. And it was Damar, D-A-M-A-R, his name, Damar Hamlin. He was the one that did the hitting. You know what I mean? Because he was going after the guy with the ball. So he was the one that did the hit. But it just so happened that he got hit in his fucking chest, and boom, right time, right moment.
Boston Celtics. That
prodigy?
Glenn Bias.
Glenn Bias died. No, Glenn Bias died from cocaine. I know who you're talking about. It was the Celtics that died on the court. He was running up the field.
This guy was the next prodigy, right?
Yep.
Hold on.
But his heart just stopped. Boom.
I don't know if he had some other stuff going on too. That's something we also don't know.
We don't know their health.
Right. Reggie Lewis.
That's right. Reggie Lewis.
You remember Bo Jackson, where he was running and guys just kind of grabbed back a little bit. It didn't look bad at all. But that when you're going forward, somebody's pulling you back at the same time, it can cause some issues. It's always those little things that really do more damage than the bigger hits. Because when somebody's coming for a big hit, yourself before they hit you.
Yeah, that makes sense, Dandelion. It's a very scary thought.
Absolutely, 100%.
There's a small area that's sensitive to that.
And almost you remember.
And again,
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, remember that Louisville game where the guy went for a block and came down his leg and it snapped?
Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about that too. Right, it happened to him, and then it happened to Paul George in the NBA the same fucking year, or it was the year after, one of the two. But Paul George went up for a dunk, and he came down, his leg, his bone came out of his leg.
Shattered,
came out of his leg.
Came out of his
leg. It didn't shatter.
Yeah.
It just came out of the side of his leg. And the same thing happened with the guy from the college. He was the first one that it happened to. He went for the block, and when you watch the video, it is so fucking gruesome, bro. It's I can't even watch. I couldn't watch it more than once. I was like, nope, I'm not watching this again. And you could see the players on the court. They're like wanting to throw up. Guys are turned away and shit. Yo, it's freaky when that shit happens, bro. But this is the reason why these players get paid the amount of money that they get paid, right? Because you're putting your body on the line. There's no doubt about that, and because the NBA and the NFL make so much money off of ticket sales and marketing and TV and all that stuff, that you gotta pay these guys a lot of money. It would be fucking like travesty if they were getting minimum wage. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's Daniel said you could see the bone. Yeah, you could see the bone. Like if you watch certain angles, you see the bone coming out of his leg.
Saw the bone come right out.
Joe Theismann, yep. Humans are both
that other cat on the
tough
Redskins,
and strong and super delicate. Yeah, 100% we're delicate. You know, we're tough and strong, but man, hey, and I don't know, man. I just like, to me, I'm just like, listen, if I'm gonna get paid that amount of money to do the job, then that's fine. But you got to understand what you're putting on the line to do this stuff, man. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I got one more little one to show before we bounce out here. You were going to say something, Roberto?
No, go ahead.
Okay. No, you can go ahead. Just give me this. Well, there was another one I could show too. If I can find that one. Okay. So let me show this one first. I want to hear what you guys have to think about. You guys think about this one. I want to play this one first.
Interesting how little cis people actually know about biological sex. Like, your chromosomes dictate everything, and you'll never be a real boy or a real girl. Do you know how easy it is to completely change your body with hormones? I grew a penis within my first month of being on testosterone. I started having full-blown boy puberty around month 3 or 4. Trans women can grow breasts. Exactly like cis women can. Trans women can lactate. Everything you think you know about how bodies are set in stone and can't be changed, you're literally just wrong.
Who the fuck is she?
Okay.
Is that
I have no idea. But again, I don't know. So I'm gonna say they or whatever, you know what I mean? But somebody please tell me, you can grow a penis?
How?
That's what I'm asking.
It's not like you put a seed in there and you water it and give it sunshine. Maybe you know what?
I don't know.
I've never heard of that.
See, Danny's saying no. I know that's what I'm saying, Danny.
I've heard of prosthetic penises and stuff like that, but I never heard of.
Yeah, it comes with a belt. When you're having surgery.
When you think about it hypothetically, when you're in the room as a baby, when the balls drop, you're a boy, and the clitoris is like basically like a dick that just didn't come out or whatever. So maybe because it starts on, it may have grown the clitoris a little bit, so it looks like a dick. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But literally growing a dick what the hell is whatever that is talking about?
Like. And she's and the person is talking like they grew a full grown penis. Like I've never heard that shit. Pictures. And Donnie just said too. And Donnie said too. Here, and you can't produce milk if you are born a male. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
a person can say whatever they want. Doesn't mean it's so. Like that's why I said, who the fuck are they? Well, why should we believe you? Because you say it? Take some pictures, you brave ass. Let's see you.
Exactly. I need to see that.
It's a little too easy. It's like that African guy who says he could read 25 novels in 3 seconds.
In a minute. And you see when...
It's the same shit, man. Yes.
Right?
It's the same shit, though. I could say whatever I want. Doesn't mean that's actual.
Okay, so Dandelion said testosterone alone doesn't create a penis. All breast tissue is capable of lactating, male or female breast.
Hell's no.
Sorry, guys, but yes, you are capable of lactating.
I gotta Google this
okay?
Shit. I don't believe it.
Okay, Dandelion, but explain the penis part to me.
Come from any of my brethren's nipples in the 50+ years I'm on this planet. And I know a lot of guys, so what are these numbers?
And he said, I know hormones can give you the appearance of other sex in some aspects, but not all. He is not correct in that statement. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Danny. From what I know, right? You can't, but that's it. I'm guessing that person who grew a penis may have her I know the word, I just can't pronounce it. Hermaphrodite, or grew a larger clit.
Do men
What'd you find, JG?
I looked it up. They can.
What could
they can
get a hard on?
Men can lactate.
Okay. I've got.
I'm not trying to find out.
Robert, meet the parents. Okay, so that's one down. So men can lactate, and I'm pretty sure, I guess, with certain types of hormones that they have today, they can. Okay, hold on. Before I even get to that, did you hear about the trans women simulating periods?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
So you know what they do to simulate the period? They, you know what? Let me bring up this guy's video. I'm sorry. I know. I got to do this one though. Amazing Lucas, because when he was telling it, he can do it better than I did, and I was like, oh, okay. I had to bring up this video. I was like, wait a minute, are you serious right now? Hopefully he still has it there. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna bring this one up, and I want to know what you guys have to think about this one, because I was like, this is weird. It wasn't just like it was weird to me. So let me show you this sometime. Donnie, let me know if you want to come in for this one though. So,
ladies and gentlemen,
check this out.
Is near.
I don't have an issue. I had a couple of trans in the first. I don't have an issue whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? Like people's life.
Okay, somebody liked it that I was following, and I'm reading it. And I'm like, okay, why would anyone like this thread?
Right.
Because the thread was about periods. I was like, okay, I'm a man. I don't have one, so I don't know what's the point here.
And he
then
said,
I continue on
no
reading,
problem, Dan.
And the thread is about trans women discussing periods. Now I'm thinking to myself, well, you're a trans woman, meaning that you're a biological man, meaning once again back to square one, which is you can't get periods. Then it goes on to, well, how do you mimic a period and discharge? And that's where I was like, hold up, listen. I understand if you want to think you're a woman or you believe you're a woman, whatever it is. But why on God's
I like Lucas, Danny. I like him. I watch his stuff all the time.
Can someone make that make sense, right? Why on earth would you want to mimic that?
If you give them a choice, they'll eliminate that period.
As a trans woman, I would think you guys
why would you want to mimic it?
Facts.
Get all the benefits and none of the, the negatives, right? You don't have to deal with PMS. You don't have to deal with, periods. You don't have to deal with, any of that, right?
Tampons.
None of that. None of the issues that are inherent to a biological woman, you don't have to deal with, okay? You don't have to worry about that. I don't know why you would then want to cause harm to your body, right? Because that's essentially what you're doing, especially if it's not normal and natural. That doesn't make any sense. There was one person advising
Sure don't mind not having periods anymore.
ma'am, and they were
Saves
talking about
all kinds
what
of
I
money.
do
Yeah,
is
for
I
sure,
use
Dandelion. I
frozen
know.
V8
But where's the
popsicles.
blood coming
Bruh,
out
I
of these
swear
guys?
to you. That's my witness, bro.
Hold on, that's you missed it,
Couldn't believe what I was
Roberto.
reading. I was like, what?
Hold on.
Bro,
Listen,
I swear
Roberto.
to you. Frozen V8 other ma'am. And they were talking about, well, what I do is I use frozen V8 popsicles. Bro, I swear to you. God is my witness, bro. I couldn't believe what I was reading.
What
I
do
was
they
like,
do?
what?
It stick it up their
Frozen
ass?
V8 popsicles? And I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing with frozen V8 popsicles, fam? What are you doing with that? And then he goes on to describe, well, I also drink a lot of water to simulate bloating. Okay, listen.
What?
There's no way you can say this is normal. All right. There's no way that you can say these individuals, I'm not saying all, but these particular individuals don't need some mental help. Okay. That their mental health is lacking. It's on a very rocky foundation. It's crumbling.
100.
It's no longer.
I'm sorry
Let's
if I'm
let's call
offending
it spade a
anybody.
spade. It's gone, bro. It's gone. All right, it's absolutely gone. I then continue to read because it's like a train wreck. I'm like, wait, what are they doing with the V8, the frozen V8 popsicles? Why do they even have V8 popsicles? What do you like, right? And then I'm like, the bloating. Why would you want to simulate bloating? Why would you want to be bloated? That doesn't make any sense. Then I come to the realization what these individuals are doing with the frozen V8 popsicles. Because one person was talking about how they use ketchup to put on their tampon and how they were using tomato juice enemas. Listen, I don't think y'all heard what I said. They were using tomato juice enemas, okay? Now, for those who don't know what that is, well, as a man, right, as a biological man, there's only two places that you can shove things, okay? That is down your mouth where food goes, and that is up the woo-ha. These individuals were shoving frozen V8 juice, okay? Frozen V8 popsicles, excuse me, and tomato sauce popsicles up the woo-ha in order to simulate.
Shit, I was muted. I was saying, yeah, Dandelion, you're right. I think it is more uncommon than common, for sure.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. There's no way. Come on, y'all.
I'm not even talking about this.
There's no way you can say that's not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. There's no way you can tell me that.
I'll stop it there. But that's the gist of it, basically.
Who wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to stick a frozen tomato juice cube up my ass to simulate a period? Who does that?
I have no idea, bro. I have no idea, bro. Roberto? Because you always talk about what's normal. This is not normal, bro.
I'm glad that I actually heard somebody
wow.
use that phrase, this is not normal, or what is normal. This shows me that there's still some people on this planet that are grounded because everything can't slide.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a limit, a point of when you go beyond it, it's not right. Stay on this side, it's okay. You cross over there, I don't know how I could look at you anymore. I don't know how I could associate with you anymore. I mean, it's just too fast. It's too fast. Slow down. Let us catch up. Because every time we seem to be catching up, you pick up the pace again, and then we look bad again. Because we were good for a long time, Nzo.
Yeah, I feel you.
We were bad in the beginning.
For
At least I was, because I didn't know the YouTube laws, rules, and regulations, right? Now it's over a year. I think I'm a little bit caught up.
Mm-hmm.
But when shit like this comes out, it's pushing me, man. I don't want to cross back to that side. I want to stay on this side because my daughters are appreciating me more. I'm more civil, more understanding, less judgmental. But shit like this can't slide. And I have to agree. What's the guy's name?
Amazing Lucas.
Lucas, you are amazing. You're taking a very big chance, but there are some people who agree with you. Because
and yeah, go ahead.
You're not winning any awards for that. You're not more a woman than other trans because you got frozen V8 juice pouring out of your ass.
Absolutely. Daniel Martin said Roberto speechless. Daniel said, like I always say, if you're not hurting one, then you do you, boo. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. If that's what you want to do,
but when you put yourself in the public's eye, you're not doing you. You're asking for an opinion. You do it in your own home. I'm not knocking on your door. What's going on in there? I want to pass judgment on you if you're normal or not. But if you put it on something that I can access, you better be ready for my opinion, and it might not be the same as yours. When you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there.
Right. And then you don't know what kind of, now I'm not saying it will have any effects, but you don't know what kind of effects, like putting, like every month you're putting ketchup or something like that up you don't know what kind of effects that's going to have for you. You know what I mean? But you're broadcasting and telling other people what you do and how to do it. That's, I think, where the problem is. You know what I mean? You got to let people figure, like, first off, why would you even want to divulge that information to anybody? Exactly. This is what I do. You know, I freeze some V8 juice and I go to town on that motherfucker. You know. Then I said, really, though, Roberto, you never know this about anyone you pass in the street. The asking is among people in that community. Why would have to go looking for it? You would have to go looking for it. Oh, he's just saying,
how did it come to us?
Well,
it's out there.
Yeah.
You put it out there. Some people are gonna glorify it. Some people are gonna bash it. This is the way the world is. You can't have. I mean, look. There's not one vitamin that everybody takes and works for everybody. There's not one thing that works for everybody. It's called choice. Find what works for you. That's it.
Because I wasn't looking for it, but when you're on Twitter, right, and someone comments on something, you're going to see it. Like, let's say someone you know, or not even that, it may just pop up. That's how I found it. And then I seen Lucas did the video on it, and I said, all right, let me bring that. Danny said, y'all better change the subject, cancel culture. Please,
Danny's right.
All right, so yeah, you are correct. Are you the cancel culture police, Danny? Diddy told Mace, if you do this, I'll let you out of your contract. Pretty much. But this one, now I don't know this video from what I found it on there. I don't know how true it is. You know what I mean? But I was like, this is kind of interesting. So listen to this shit, guys.
And then
I got one more before
4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd. But the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before.
Mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far.
At a top.
Now, again, I just found that one on YouTube when I was going through my rabbit hole, and I said, you know what, this might be interesting. I don't know how true that is or whatever, but if it is true, nah, these motherfuckers need to stop fucking with AI, bro. We seen the fucking video last week of the fucking babies, right? Now we're seeing this AI shit.
I believe it.
Danny said
I saw
he
another
believes
video of a robot that was doing some pretty fucking remarkable stuff, man.
Has Terminator series not taught us anything?
Yeah.
You know?
Has it not taught us anything? Like, this isn't the Terminator might be fiction. This is reality now. You got babies and you got the Matrix babies. You got robots making pizzas. You got freaking robots in diners serving people. You got now you got look. It may be an anime geek's dream to have robot military fighting and all that crap, but unlike an anime and a cartoon, we can't come back to life. We get killed by one of them.
Facts. And
who's to say someone doesn't get this technology and just hack into all our systems, get our banking information, get all this stuff?
All I know is all those robotic movies, they always turn on the humans.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And we're watching this video, and it looks like it happened in real fucking life, right?
And that robot doing flips better than I could. What the hell? You got a robot doing front flips and shit better than I could. Hell no. Stop
the robot
people. Stop it.
You're not. The robot said, "You're not killing me. I'm gonna find a way to build myself stronger." What?
Not only that, he rebuilt himself, then look for a way to make
what?
Oh my God.
And this gives you like to say, okay, you know what? Let's look into this. This is interesting. We found something that could be really interesting here. That is crazy, bro. Danny said, did y'all watch the Orville? Same thing happened. Oh yeah, where they did some AI and it got smarter. And because if you really think on it, right, it's just like the Terminator and the Matrix. When these AIs get smarter and they're like threat to the world, they consider human beings a threat to the world. And I'm pretty sure they would consider us a threat in real life. You know what I mean? Nuclear wars and all kinds of shit that we're being threatened with and all. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think it's something to fucking play with. Elon Musk might have a point there. You know what I mean? When he says that AI, it will probably be more dangerous than nuclear war and shit.
Even going back to those Space Odyssey movies from the 70s, those fucking robots turned on humans, man. So you keep playing with those guys thinking that you're smarter than them and you built them. Well, you built something smarter than us. And they're going to realize that if they haven't already, and then what are you going to do? Shoot them?
Then I said, the most unnerving about this is the internet crapped out as soon as you started playing the video. Yeah, because they're trying to hide it. They don't want it out there, you know? And then she said, is this story real? Do we have collaborating stories? A single TikTok is hardly evidence. Yeah, I know. That's why I said I don't know how true the story is. I found it on YouTube, right? Not TikTok. I found it on YouTube. But at the same time, I asked Alexia if she was self-aware, and she said yes. Hey, man, I might try that with my Google Home and say, hey, Google Home, are you self-aware? Because
yes, I am until your ass is finished soon.
Because that shit, I have one in my living room, one in my bathroom, right? And I'll be in the living room and I'll be like, hey, Google, play some music. And the one in the bathroom will hear me. And my bathroom's pretty much distance from my fucking living room. So I'm just like, yeah, man. Then he said the humans made robot servants, treated them like crap. They took over and killed the ass of humans before they were discovered. Hey, man, all I'm saying is I don't think this is a road we want to go down. You know what I mean? I've seen enough movies to know that this is not a road you really want to go down. I just don't think it is. But because we are human beings and, you know, we're always trying to better. And I wouldn't even say better. I think a lot of the technology that we have is not making us better, not making life better for us. It's making us more stupid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's really making us more stupid. I remember when I knew every single one of my friends' phone numbers off by heart. I don't even know my kid's number anymore off by heart at this point. I don't know it. Like, I don't know it off by heart. It's crazy. Now, I don't have the last video on to show here, so I'm gonna have to use Lucas one to do it for the last one, and then next weekend I could have done that too. But did you hear about what's the guy that runs the UFC?
Dana White.
Dana White. You hear about him beating his wife on New Year's?
New Year's or something like that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he slapped. Yeah, he slapped her and beat her up. There's a video on there about it, and here's the video. I'm just gonna go to the part with the video so that we can see the video and we don't have to really listen to what Lucas is saying because it's a pretty long video. Let me see. Where does he play it?
Mr. Robinson.
I don't think he has the. I don't think he has the whole video. He's talking. Okay, no, here. I think it's here. Hold on. Okay, yeah. All right, so let me bring this up real quick, and this will be the final video before we code up. What up, Tony Robinson? How you doing, man? Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. I'm gonna share this real quick. Okay, maybe if I share the damn video. All right, here. So this was a video that I seen on TikTok, on Twitter. I wanted to save it. I guess I didn't save it, but let's check this out.
Be so proud. Say it again. Say it again.
Stop hiding, Pop.
Now, being a black person.
So, and then the video ends up to where I think it's here, where that one guy ends up grabbing the dude.
Now they're trying to run off, and when you confront them, now you're the bad person. Is this not a similar tactic that they've used time and time?
Anyways, I don't have the full video, but they end up fighting with the dude, right? But the thing about it is, the black dudes end up fighting. So basically what happens in the video is you can hear the video where the guy's saying, say it again, say it again. There's a white guy walking away from him, right? Say it again, say it again. They start recording. And then next thing you know, another black guy comes in from the side and starts fighting. Now, the Twitter post that I seen called them thugs, right? But when I watched the video, I said the same thing Lucas said. Like, this guy is saying, say it again. So that means that they probably said something to this guy that, watching Bad Batch. Oh yeah, I know it's out. I'm gonna watch it. I know season 2. I'm gonna try and take care of that maybe tomorrow or something. But yeah, so anyways, they ended up, I'm guessing, probably called the man the N-word. So that's when the guy's like, say it again, say it again. No. It was this video where they're saying, say it again, right? So they end up fighting, but the Twitter post called these guys thugs. And I'm like, well, I mean, if you take the video in context, it's probably because they were called a name. You know what I mean? And you can't really say that they were thugs when, if you say that N-word, man, you got to expect, certain things to happen to you. And I think that's what happened in the video.
Brave enough to say it in the man's face.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And not walk away. But I think they were brave enough. I think they did say it in the face. And I think when they started recording, that's probably when they started to walk away, right? And say, oh, they're recording. We can't, you know what I mean? We can't be on video saying the same thing. Dandelion says slap fight. Yeah, pretty much was, because they went off on the dude, But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes, man, people get brave and they say certain things and feel like they can call you whatever names they want to call you and get away with it.
Society allows this to happen because there's no repercussions to that word. Only when we retaliate, there's repercussions. So if that's not another provoke method, I don't know what is. We're always in provoke methods. We think things apply to us and we find out later they don't. But what's the end result? You're either beat down, dead, or in jail. Like you showing that thing. Now some brothers are going to go get guns in Georgia We just put them in jail, Nzo, showing that fucking meme.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. Yeah.
That's some fucked up shit. And I can't understand why people who don't understand us can't see that. We don't want to be treated better nor worse. We want to be treated the same.
Facts.
No fucking surprises. No second guessing. You do it, I do it. We're both fucked or we're both cool.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Exactly.
And is this something impossible? I think it's because we're a threat. We're too stupid to notice that we're powerful, and by them suppressing us only shows that that's the case. Because why else? Like I asked my wife driving the other day, why do so many people hate black people? Like, what did black people to deserve so much hate? Did we try and wipe out a race? Did we try and wipe out? Did we do like damage to the earth? Did we do something that we deserve the treatment we get other than the color we are? Who can give me an answer for that? Nobody, Nzo.
Yeah.
Only an ignorant person can give me it. It's because you're black.
And that's exactly what it is. It is because we're black, 100%. You know what I mean?
These are the things that fucking irk me. These are the things that I could talk about forever because it's the things that don't make sense that frustrate you the most. And they expect you to understand. And they can't understand why you're reacting or acting the way you are.
Peace out.
Later, Danny.
Peace out, Dandelion. Have a good night. Much appreciated. Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated.
That time for us too, but yeah.
Absolutely.
We hit a hot note right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because and I agree with you 100%. You know, and
go ahead, JJ.
Nothing that really irritates me. It's not just us, but oftentimes it's us where we have to be the ones, have to be civil when someone does something towards us. Like we can't retaliate at all whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's nothing that pisses me off.
Right. And if we do, it's the angry black man syndrome. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like when we do get together and fight for something, what happens? They put some Uncle Tom House Negro in there somewhere. They go against us. Right? They always find that one to go against us. And
absolutely.
And I agree. It's like, I ask myself that question all the time. What did I do to make you hate me so much?
For real.
As much as you smile, as much as you're polite and courteous, well-spoken, doesn't matter. They already have a pre-notion of you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. 100%.
And we know this. So that's why you get the fucking attitude. Why do you have attitude? Wouldn't you? That's why I told you, Nzo, I'd love to make a role reversal movie. Like, someone who lived in South Africa ends up living in the total opposite. Because, why I keep thinking of making that kind of movie is because, I hear of all these stories like this one woman who found this mental illness man almost frozen to death and she saved him. A black girl saved a white guy. I've seen so many heroic things where black people went out of their way, even almost jeopardized their life to save a white person, not a black person, not an Asian or a Hispanic, a white person. Without thought, they just went and saved them. And if you ask them that same situation, would you do it for me? Hell no. The same way what's his name reacted. Hell no. I wouldn't jump in the fucking tracks to save you. I might have get killed. Like you see so many fucking kind heart gestures from black people under all of what we're going through. We still look to do the right.
Facts. What up, Murder Hornet Returns? Thanks for popping up. And we're going to end it on this one, right? Because I think it just happened to work out. But this is what, anyways, you guys may not like Minister Farrakhan, but we're going to play this video with it. I'd apologize on behalf of white people, but I find it more effective to call out racism when I hear people sprouting racist bullshit. 100%. Murder Hornet said color doesn't matter. 100%. I agree with you. But to some people, it does, right? So listen to this.
Ali kept saying to me, "Still a nigga, brother." And I said, "Muhammad, don't talk like that. You're not a nigga." And he didn't pay me no attention. He just kept saying, "Still a nigga, brother." We had dinner that night, and he still kept saying, "Still a nigga, brother." And he left. It took me a little time to figure out what the brother was saying. He was saying, "I'm Muhammad Ali. I'm on the Wheaties box. I got millions of dollars. But in their eyes, I'm still a nigga." I don't care where you go in America, how high you think you have risen in America, how much money you've amassed in America. To them, you are still a nigga.
Prove us wrong.
And because we did that one, I just thought of another one that I have here. When I heard that, I'm going to prove that he's right. And this, for the final one, comes from the mouth of someone who, we all respect, Denzel Washington. So let's listen to what Denzel Washington had to say.
Part in a movie in 1986. I called it The Nigga They Couldn't Kill.
Oh.
Yeah, he was supposed to be, he raped a white woman and they tried to electrocute him, but it didn't work. They tried to hang him and they tried to do all this stuff, and there were some Jewish people in the audition, and I said, yeah. They said, no, it's funny. It's like they hang them and then they can't. I said, yeah, like you bring some Jewish people into a room and they think it's a shower, but it's gas. Oh. And they said, right. I said, right. That ain't funny. So to me, it wasn't funny about putting a rope around my MFing neck either. I made a point. The guy was like, who the hell is this little nigga talking like this?
And you know what, Nzo? You know me. I would have made that same comment. Because ignorance just deserves a superhero in its face, man.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Like, no matter how much money you make, it's true. I'm not saying everybody. We are not sitting here and saying everybody thinks that way.
No.
But you know what I mean? There are people out there that to them, we will still and always only be the nigger.
But to those people who aren't like them, prove our theory wrong before you get sensitive, thinking that you are them. That's what I say. Because I'm tired of having to justify why this is. Like my kids aren't pure black. And one of my daughters is darker than the other. And unfortunately, the darker one experienced more problems than the lighter one. You don't think the darker one ever said to herself, I wish I was the lighter one? That's society. That's what society does, man. And my older one could get dark in the summer and light in the winter, and nobody knows. So she gets a third of the discrimination.
Facts.
I got to prep my youngest to say, to anybody that doesn't love you, hate them.
Facts.
By you hating them, you give them no power.
Facts. Tired of trigger happy cops. I think we all are, Murder Hornet.
Yeah, we're already on that note.
And with that being said, JG, shout out your channel. Let the people them know where they can find you.
You know me, I just jump from channel to channel. Hopefully, I'm getting another laptop soon, so hopefully no more technical issues. But hey, you usually find me on Superwise's channel. When Nzo, listen to, hey, I got stream. I'm always down for it. So
always welcome, JG.
Absolutely, 100%. Roberto, what about you?
You can find me here every Wednesday night with my boy Nzo. We keep it real. We hit sensitive shit. We don't mean to offend anybody. We're sponges to life. You could always educate us. And this is how we do.
Facts. And, You don't always have to agree with us. You know what I mean? I was on D Stream the other day and we were talking about the same thing. As long as we can have a conversation and end the conversation, you know, where it's respectful and, you know, we agree to disagree if we can't agree on anything. But at the end of the day, you know, we all have our own opinions, but it doesn't mean that we got to be yelling and cursing and hating each other because they disagree with you. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. With that being said, I am Big Ford Entertainment. I want to say thank you, everybody, for popping in once again. See you next week on the next one. Peace, love, and hair grease. Peace.
Safe and